A family photo was torn recently by someone with jealousy in their heart. The torn piece holds the one who will be exposed. Archangel Michael says, "This is not just an old photo, it's a spiritual map, and the tear was no accident. Someone with jealousy in their veins moved silently, tearing through your past to distort your present. The piece they tried to remove is the piece that holds your greatest protector, and now the divine is stepping in. You are not reading this by mistake, and this message is not meant for the faint-hearted. This warning arrives as the light begins to crack open over a buried family betrayal. Someone you once trusted with a smile, with your emotions, and with your family bond has chosen the path of sabotage. In that photo, everyone smiled, but only one person was truly faking it. That smile, caught forever on film, held poison behind the teeth and resentment in the eyes. And now, they couldn't help but act. They tore the memory apart, thinking no one would ever notice. But heaven noticed. The moment they ripped that photograph, they created a spiritual rupture. Now the angels are circling, and the light is falling precisely on what they wanted to hide. Type Amen to get blessing 333. Archangel Michael says, "The torn piece that is now missing will be the very item used to reveal the truth. It carries the energy of the one who should have been your shield but chose to become your silent enemy. They didn't just rip the paper, they tried to erase someone from your heart, and it's not going to work. This is not only about a photo, it's about manipulation at its deepest root. This was a physical act done out of spiritual desperation, because what is coming for you is protection, honor, and revelation. And the person who did this knew their time in your circle was about to expire. A force much older and higher than all of this has been watching quietly. The angelic realms waited until they acted, because heaven never exposes until the perfect moment. And now, the perfect moment has arrived, and you are being pulled into divine truth whether you ready or not. Type Amen to get blessing 707. They thought they were destroying a memory, but instead they activated a spiritual alarm. Ever since they did that, strange energies have been swirling around the home. You may have felt sudden tension, seen odd glances, or felt a chill when no window was open. None of that is coincidence. The torn photo was a key to a hidden chamber of family secrets. Someone tried to tear out a truth from your lineage, but what they failed to realize is that truth regenerates. And now it's returning with fire, with light, with the full backing of your ancestors. There is someone in the family who has been growing more and more unstable. They speak in circles, smile too often, and try to overcompensate with fake affection. That person is now under observation by angelic forces. They have been weighed, measured, and are about to be revealed. Do not be surprised if you find a copy of that photo reappear in a dream or among old boxes. The torn piece will either show up physically, or the face of the one behind the betrayal will be shown in a vision. You are not crazy for sensing this, and you're not alone. Type Amen to get blessing 999. If you're feeling emotional reading this, know that the energy of truth is already brushing against your soul. Truth doesn't whisper, it shakes, it pulls, it brings clarity like lightning, and that is what's happening to you now. Your angels are stepping closer, and they are not coming quietly. You've cried tears over family pain, and it wasn't for nothing. Your instincts were never wrong, but the ones who hurt you tried to gaslight you into silence. That ends today, because the photograph, once torn, will now become the evidence of spiritual justice. This photo may have sat untouched in a drawer or been hidden behind other frames, but every time someone looked at it, the energy shifted, until finally, someone couldn't take it anymore. They couldn't stand seeing a future they were excluded from, so they acted in rage. But rage without reason collapses. And now they will find themselves isolated, not because you wish harm, but because they invited exposure. Archangel Michael is moving swiftly now, and when he draws his sword of light, no darkness can stand. Type Amen to get blessing 1144. This wasn't just a random emotional act. There's a history behind this jealousy. There were conversations you weren't part of, meetings behind closed doors, and glances exchanged at family events. They thought they were subtle, but Spirit has recorded every move. The piece they tore had a face. That face was the most powerful soul in the family line, someone who carries the mark of divine favor. And now, that energy will shine brighter than ever, making their betrayal impossible to ignore. You may start seeing flashes, sparkles of light near your photo frames, or feel heat around your right shoulder. These are signs that Archangel Michael's host has entered your space. They're re-clearing the fog, revealing what others tried to hide. Prepare yourself, because soon you will hear from someone you haven't spoken to in a while. They'll come forward with a confession, a memory, or a message about that photo. They too were hurt, and they're ready to step out of the shadows. Type Amen to get blessing 888. Someone's lips are trembling now, not because of fear from you, but fear of the light that's chasing their lies. What they tore will haunt them until the truth is spoken aloud. They may appear with fake concern, asking about your emotions or trying to fix things with sudden kindness. This is not remorse, it's panic. They know spiritual fire is near, and they can't control the narrative anymore. The angels are reassembling that image in the spirit realm. Even though the physical photo was torn, the energy of wholeness still exists. And once it's reconnected in the heavenly dimension, what was hidden will manifest openly. The house they live in will feel heavier. They'll begin having sleepless nights, erratic dreams, and moments of unexplained dread. That's because the torn piece is speaking. It wants to return to the light. Type Amen to get blessing 444. Let them try to silence you. Let them say you're imagining things. But deep down, they know what they did. And the part of them that still remembers their own innocence is screaming to be freed. But that scream will be drowned by what they unleashed in their own bitterness. Archangel Michael says, the photo was a symbol, a relic, a container of energy. And the person whose image was in the torn section has been chosen to receive divine reward. No force of jealousy can block what heaven has sealed. Watch closely in the coming days. Objects may fall without cause, old electronics may flicker, and birds may appear near your window. All these are angelic confirmations that exposure is near. You will soon hear someone accidentally mention the photo, or they will confess they saw someone else with it. They'll try to distance themselves from what happened, but heaven is already documenting their intent. There is no hiding when Spirit has declared it is time for judgment. Type Amen to get blessing 2233. The atmosphere in your surroundings will begin to shift as clarity settles in. The one who tore that photo opened a spiritual door they were not prepared for. And now, their life will begin to reflect the consequence of that act, through missed opportunities, broken trust, and divine setbacks. Do not be surprised if this person begins avoiding you. Their silence is louder than words because their soul knows it has been marked for exposure. They tried to cut you from the picture, but the universe has cut their influence from your future. The angels are standing in the place where the photo was torn. They are pouring light back into that space, sealing it with truth that cannot be denied. Every tear you've cried over this betrayal has watered the ground where your healing will now grow. Type Amen to get blessing 123. They say time reveals everything, but what they never expected was that time would bring divine intervention. The family dynamics that have caused you pain are now being reversed. You will notice people suddenly treating you differently, because they can sense something has shifted. The spiritual realm is working faster than the physical. While they scramble to cover their actions, heaven is placing signs all around you. Dreams will grow clearer, your body will feel lighter, and your mind will begin to understand what was once confusing. You'll be able to walk past old memories without trembling. You'll look at that frame again, not with pain, but with power. Because now you know, that torn piece is your proof, your sign, your spiritual weapon. The torn section has been claimed by divine forces. It represents not what was lost, but what will never be taken again. And through it, your inheritance of peace, strength, and clarity is being restored. Type Amen to get blessing 555. You may feel called to light a candle, or to hold the torn photograph gently in your hands. That's not random, that's alignment. The spirit world is guiding you to reclaim what was broken, even if only symbolically. The face in the torn photo belongs to someone whose journey is tied deeply to your destiny. This person may be you, or someone you love very dearly. The tear was meant to erase, but it has now immortalized them. The one who did this is haunted, not by fear of you, but by the echo of the moment they tore sacred ground. That photo held spiritual contracts, blessings, and divine covering. Now that it's broken, it will speak every time they try to lie. Watch for signs in music, names being repeated, message that shows up in a dream. You're being led step by step. And nothing can block the revelation now. Justice has begun, and it will not rest until truth is seen by all. Type Amen to get blessing 666. You were never alone in this. From the moment that act was done, angels stood up in your name. They began preparing the scene for divine confrontation, not for destruction, but for truth. This moment has been waiting to happen. The family photo was not just a memory, it was prophecy in ink and paper. And the one who thought they could change fate with jealousy has underestimated the power of destiny. The spiritual atmosphere is growing louder. Those who speak behind closed doors will start revealing themselves by mistake. Your discernment will sharpen. You'll know who's lying, even before they speak. Archangel Michael says, "No weapon formed against your name will remain hidden." Your name is being lifted in light, even as there's trembles in shadow. The torn piece is glowing. It has become a mirror that shows who truly belongs in your life. Type Amen to get blessing 1212. Now is your moment to reclaim peace. Don't wait for them to apologize, they won't. But their world will begin to shake, not because of your anger, but because of their own regret. That's how heaven works. Justice doesn't need revenge, it needs truth. And the truth is, you are rising now, stronger than ever, with eyes open and heart guarded. The people who pretended to love you will find that masks are heavy when the light is hot. You'll see them break their own silence. They'll slip, they'll stutter, and they'll show you more than they meant to. And you'll feel a strange calm, because your spirit already knew. You are not cursed by what they did. You are crowned because of what you survived. The torn photo is a reminder. When someone tries to remove your presence, heaven intensifies your purpose. They failed. Type Amen to get blessing 3333. There will come a time soon, perhaps days or weeks, where the full photo may resurface. It may appear in a drawer, on a phone, in a relative's home, or even in a dream. When it does, look closely at the one who is missing in the torn section. That is your confirmation. The person whose face was torn away is marked by divine grace. Whether that's you or someone tied to you, they are about to receive a blessing that no one can block. And those who tried to erase them will now watch them be honored. Spiritual restoration is not a quiet thing. It's thunder wrapped in grace. The angels are working through people, conversations, and divine delays. Everything that was paused is now in motion again. You'll be surprised how fast it all starts falling into place. One moment, you're in the dark, and the next, you're standing in the spotlight of understanding. Because Spirit always delivers what it promises, it just waits for the moment that echoes. Type Amen to get blessing 1444. If you wish to express your support further, you have the option to give super thanks, with contributions of up to $20. Let the photo remain torn, or tape it back together. It no longer holds pain, only proof. The person behind this act is now under divine spotlight, and their steps are being watched. They cannot escape what they've ignited. There are no accidents in the spiritual realm. You were meant to see that photo, to feel that confusion, to trace that tear with trembling fingers. Because now, you are awakened. And once awakened, you can never go back to sleep. You will hear truths that used to be whispered only in secret. You'll witness people revealing their roles in this story, even when they think they're hiding it well. The torn piece will rise again. It is not destroyed, it is sacred. And you, beloved, are the living proof that light always finds its way through even the most broken frame. Type Amen to get blessing 1717. Your spirit is still receiving, because what was torn carries more than a face, it carries spiritual contracts tied to your name. You may not have known this before, but that image was a seal, a visual testimony of connection, of alignment, of destiny. And when that jealous hand ripped through it, they unknowingly disturbed the very protection that kept them safe too. Their own envy has become the blade that cut their spiritual favor. Now, their blessings are beginning to decay because they touched what was sacred out of malice. They touched it not out of grief or sorrow, but to erase, to remove, to bury a truth that cannot stay hidden. This act has awakened angelic forces that will not rest until peace is restored. Every time they look in the mirror now, they will see shadows behind their reflection. Not because you re-cursing them, but because guilt follows the guilty. And you? You are rising. Even as the storm brews over their life, the light will follow you everywhere you go. Because once heaven sees what was done, it begins its plan of reversal. Type Amen to get blessing 2020. There will be moments you'll be tempted to confront them, to ask why, to demand truth. But heaven says wait, don't speak until Spirit gives you the words. Because soon, they'll speak first, and when they do, it will expose far more than you ever knew. They will try to twist it, say it wasn't what it looked like, or blame others. But your discernment has grown, you will not be manipulated again. You've passed the test of silence, of endurance, and now you'll witness the reward of divine defense. The torn piece will appear when you least expect it, and when it does, don't be afraid to touch it, to hold it. It is no longer carrying pain, it's carrying prophecy. Someone in your lineage cried out in the spiritual realm when the photo was torn. Their soul screamed for justice, and that cry reached Archangel Michael himself. And now he stands over you, sword drawn, shielding your future. Type Amen to get blessing 818. The ripple effect of this betrayal is now being traced back through time. Every lie they told, every story they changed, every whisper they spoke behind your back, heaven has documented it. The ledger of truth is now open. Do not be surprised if old texts, letters, or emails resurface. These are not coincidences, they're divine receipts. And the universe never sends a receipt unless it's time to collect. You will not need revenge, because when the angels move, it's more powerful than any human plan. What was meant to ruin you will now be your stage for elevation. This is your divine hour of reversal. Let them wonder why everything around them is crumbling. Let them panic in silence, while you walk forward with strength. Type Amen to get blessing 1414. You've already felt the shift. You've noticed how the energy has changed when certain people enter the room. It's because their spirit knows what their mouth has not yet confessed. They are walking around with a secret burning through their chest. But the truth doesn't wait forever. It will pour out of them like a flood when heaven commands it. And you will hear it all. The torn piece isn't just a clue, it's a countdown. Each day that passes draws the moment of full exposure closer. And when it comes, it will be so undeniable that no one will be able to defend the guilty. This is not just justice, it's spiritual inheritance. Because the one they tried to erase is the one chosen for elevation. And the person who committed the act has now marked themselves for divine discipline. Type Amen to get blessing 2323. Archangel Michael says, what was once covered in shadow is now bathed in light. The shame they tried to send your way has circled back to them. And the photograph, though torn, now speaks louder than ever. You are being restored in stages. First comes awareness, then clarity, then power. And you are already stepping into the final stage, power. Do not let sadness grip you. What you feel is not loss, it's alignment. That person had to be exposed so your future could be unshackled. Let the photo remain in sight. Place it somewhere visible if your spirit agrees, because now, it is a symbol of what cannot be hidden. They may have torn it, but they cannot undo what God has already written. Type Amen to get blessing 7777. This moment was seen by the heavens before the photo was even taken. That picture was meant to capture not just faces, but truths frozen in time. And now those truths are melting into your awareness. A letter may arrive, or a call, or even a visit from someone carrying guilt, but don't rush to forgive. Allow Spirit to move first, because sometimes divine punishment is a greater teacher than your words. Let heaven speak through events, through silence, through exposure. You are covered. You are protected. You are walking into a season where every lie will unravel before you. Type Amen to get blessing 909. What they tore, you will now wear like a crown. Their attempt to erase has become your announcement. Your spirit is being elevated through the same path they tried to bury. From now on, every time you see torn paper, remember, even broken things can carry glory. Even split images can reflect truth. Even destroyed symbols can resurrect into power. You will find strength in places you once wept. You'll look at that photograph again and feel nothing but peace. Because you'll know, what they meant for harm became the beginning of your divine promotion. So breathe, release, and rise. Type Amen to get blessing 3344.